Hey everybody, welcome back to the ESL Legendary Hearthstone series. We're getting ready for our third quarterfinal match of the day, which is Reynard versus Supernova. We thought that was going to be a little bit later, but it turns out it's going to be coming up right on stream. And it's going to be a really fun one because both of us know Andre a lot, partially because, well, a large part because we're on Tempo Storm. And this one should be a fun one.
Yeah, I was actually helping him practice yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and I strongly recommended that he bring Handlock for this format for the reasons I said earlier, where
Sure.
you'll dodge Hunter 2 out of 3 times. So he's got the Warlock. His Warlock ran into the other Warlock, where, again, Handlock is slightly favored against Zoo, so he'll be happy to see that, and
Okay.
he's really happy about he likes playing the mirror as well, like you mentioned. Everyone
Yeah,
does.
he does. Well, I mean, every handlock player who's confident in it, like playing the mirror. Now, Supernova, he's not bringing Hunter either.
Yeah.
This is the third player of the day that we've seen, so that's actually really interesting. 50% of players have brought Hunter, 50% have not.
Yeah. And now Supernova, I barely know him, but as soon as I hear his name, I think a Druid. So I know him as a Druid player. And look, he won the role again. The Druid versus Warrior. It's exactly what you want with Druid.
Right.
And then Priest
Even
versus Hunter.
Priest versus Hunter is,
It's okay. It's still pretty close. It depends how the Hunter's built, really.
I think that's what he wants to out of all of his classes that lined up. I think Priest is his best answer to Hunter.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree?
And Reynard, I believe I got him to put, I don't know, we were talking a lot about Belcher and whether we wanted to put just one in. But Priest is one of the classes where it's a little bit of a liability, especially with Shadow Madness.
Sure, sure.
Even Shadow Word Pain.
Well, Supernova doesn't even have a team. In fact, I don't even really recognize him from anything I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think I've played him in some of these ESL tournaments, and again, I think Druid player.
Well, cool. The fact that he's able to get here through qualifier. He is a guy who qualified along with Ping Ping Ho. And like we said, there's several good players that went through the qualifier, didn't end up making it. And this guy, regardless of whether or not you heard of him or not, does understand Hearthstone a little bit. So we're going to look at the matchups. It looks like Supernova has the edge here, at least in the first 3 games. And it does come down to that Warlock versus Warlock, what Reynard and what Supernova's bringing.
Like I said, it's Reynard's slight advantage in that last matchup, but overall, the Druid versus Warrior should really go to the Druid like 75% of the time. And then the Hunter versus Priest is a fair matchup.
Bring out your
Oh my god. Double Zombie Chow, though.
Ooh. Double Zombie Chow is almost as good as it gets
Yeah.
for the Priest.
Follow up with like a Power Word Shield next turn. It's insane.
Double Zombie Chow. That's not good news.
I had the same thing happen to me at DreamHack. I was playing Hunter as a Priest. Should be fine. Double Zombie Chow. So he needs a Web Spinner. Perfect.
Oh, wow.
Perfect.
Well, he gets 2 Death Rattles to answer. And now he can choose to eliminate or he can choose to push. The effect's about the same, but killing off is important to avoid the Power Word Shield, awkward trades, and whatnot.
Okay, so no Power Word Shield. So now Supernova is behind. Power Word Shield was the perfect thing he needed to catch up. Now I think to catch up he'll need a Circle. He has the Holy Nova, which by the time it gets to turn 5, Reynard is already thinking of Circle, but Reynard might try to play around Shadow Madness from this point on, which could end up hurting him because he doesn't have it.
He left up the Undertaker.
Wow. Well, he's got the Shadow Word Death. Maybe he's like, oh, that's the only way I'm going to kill it.
Yeah, I suppose so. And there is that Sludge Belcher like you mentioned. Let's see what beast he draws off of. Oh, interesting. Starving Buzzard. He is also running Tracking, so this is a different Hunter deck that we're used to seeing from normal.
Savannah, great against Priest. Don't really need the Hunter's Mark unless this Blade Master gets circled. And even then, he could, I don't know what traps he's playing, but he could at least threaten a freezing trap against circled Blade Master if it gets circled. It looks like it's not going to get circled. So Reynard would love Bow to kill this Blade Master.
Yeah, he would like anything, really,
Yeah.
to deal with it efficiently. He already used 100's Mark, or he dropped 100's Mark, but I don't know if that's relevant really that much against Priest, other than getting past maybe the 1 Sludge Belcher that they usually have.
He's definitely going to throw one of these minions into the Blade Master because he's really worried about the turn 4 Shadow Madness. And it's just devastating if you give up your Mad Scientist.
Yeah, you need that trap. It helps give you so much tempo.
Yeah, we'll probably see the Mad Scientist getting thrown into the Blade Master here.
There is some hesitation with this injured Blade Master, though.
I wonder why. Like, I guess he's seeing. I mean, heal is the only other option. Maybe he wants to save it for when he can actually heal it.
Right, but there's still no guarantee, right, that
Yeah.
he has the ability. Like, if he had the cleric, there are some combos there, but for now, this is his only play.
The hesitation also, it bluffs the Shadow Madness. Reynard's thinking he didn't play anything. Why? Because he has a Shadow Madness next turn.
Oh, yeah, that's also true. A good telegraph.
So yeah, Reynard is super worried about Shadow Madness right now. He's looking at his board. He's like, "Am I gonna kill command my man set?" No, he's just gonna go in. But he really is expecting his Shadow Madness.
Well, there's no ways to cut it then. You probably have to just go in here and just hope for the best. And unfortunately, he doesn't have another follow-up play either.
Yeah. Kill command on the scientist is like the only play that we might see. No. He's thinking about it, right? It's the only option.
You'd really consider it?
I think it's the only thing he's considering right now. He's not going to kill command face.
Well, if you do, you lose a little bit of reach, but I still think... You do lose the Undertaker if he does have Shadow Madness. Yeah, it's actually a pretty tough spot the more you think about it.
That said, the Shadow Madness is down, you get your turn 5 Belcher, and you don't have to worry. It's fine, so... Yeah.
Alright, well, this is probably two of the worst draws that Priest could have picked up here, the Ysera and Mind Control. And, well, he doesn't have Shadow Madness. He doesn't have anything here, really, to play. Once again, he's going to pass the turn while healing himself.
It's also huge information. Reynard knows.
Yeah.
I mean, he's already ahead, but the fact that when you know your Priest opponent does not have Shadow Madness, it lets you do a lot more plays. Now he only has to play around Holy Nova, which is really easy, and Cabal, which at this point, he can't really afford to Cabal the one Mad Scientist when he has bigger minions on board.
Interesting. So he's waited this long, but unfortunately, Holy Nova doesn't get value. So he has a Shadow Word Death, the Undertaker. What? And then his high main comes down.
Yeah.
This game looks to be like a blowout here, unless Supernova can turn around the next couple turns.
Yeah, Ysera and the Mind Control are going to have a really hard time getting value.
Or even play.
Yeah.
They're so far from being removed. I mean, Supernova is taking notes here of what cards to make sure to expect for the next series, but this one looks like it's already lights out.
Yeah. He's at 1 HP if he doesn't heal this turn. Yeah, there's no way he lives.
Must consider.
Nice. So, in this Injured Blade Master ended up stranded all game,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate. Holy Nova here takes 2 damage on the board, heals him back to 16, but that's still
Yeah, he's
11
dead to
being
Animal Command.
represented.
He's dead to Kill Command. Hero powers.
Yeah. In fact, there's just, yeah, like you said, there's no way to survive. So I guess Supernova, again, he falls into the trap that most Priest players do, which is just stuck hero powering for the first few turns of the game and doing nothing.
Yeah, he had the double Zombie Chow opener, but
Yeah.
it just, which you'd think is perfect, but it just shows that Hunter is still great against Priest. Priest, it's known for being good against Hunter, but being good against Hunter is just beating it like 50% of the time.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Reynard also got that 1 mana cost Death Rattle in the Web Spinner, and that was like a big way to swing back and forth. So things end up looking good for Reynard.
Yeah, in the Undertaker Wars, I always favor the first player. I think the coin is not nearly as good as having the first Undertaker on the board and being able to double off at the following turn.
Well, that's going to do it for game number 1. And Reynard will jump out to a 1-0 lead with his Hunter. But like we've mentioned throughout the broadcast, if you're just tuning in, he cannot play Hunter
For the next
for
two
the
matches.
next 2 games because you pre-submit your lineup.
Yeah. And with Priest, he does 1 matchup as Priest, so that makes him more likely to play his Handlock. And if he doesn't see Hunter, he might just go with Handlock after the first 3 games.
So that one was the matchup that I think Supernova wanted, but it's still problematic. Now we go
Yeah.
to Druid versus Warrior, which is a lot tougher matchup for Reynard.
Really hard for the Warrior to win unless it's like a weird Druid deck. But almost every Druid deck is super favored versus Warrior.
Sure. So then what would you give the percentages here? Because a lot of people usually like to put it in those categories.
If it's just a pure fast Druid, 75%. If it's like a
Really? Wow.
if it's like even the Watcher Druid that I played is still like 65%, and then I don't know that Gadgetzan Druid deck, but it looked like it did great against Warrior for RDU, so who knows? But yeah, fast Druid versus Warrior is like the Druid's best matchup is versus Warrior.
Okay. Okay. Well, and in this case, how does Warrior fight back then? The 25% of the time, what is Reynard going to need here?
The Warrior needs to set up a huge way to swing around the board. The Druid's going to keep going for your face, and you need to get minions on the board and like a Death Spite ready and the Belcher follow up at the end. You need to fight back board control and just like just swing it around so you slowly you start clearing their board, and slowly you have a board advantage, and then you escape the 15 HP combo range and you get a Belcher down.
Oh, I don't know if he can escape the
Man.
the Wild Growth and the Innervate.
But actually, this is a really bad hand for Supernova. The Wrath is, you want a creature. You don't want to kill their creature.
Right.
And the Force of Nature is also really bad. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay, this is actually... Maybe I talked up the Druid too much. This is how you lose, is you have spells like Swipe and Wrath. Swipe doesn't do anything against Warrior unless you can swipe Hero Power at Belcher, but you need creatures on the board for that to be good. On its own, it's useless. So he needs to cycle that Wrath as soon as possible. But
Well,
he can't
there's
because it's going to be
nothing.
an Acolyte, which he has to 3.
Right.
Oh, that's super rough for Supernova.
Okay. Well, pretty much anything he picks up in the next turn he can play.
Yeah,
no
you can
matter
see the
what.
disappointment in Supernova's face. He plays
Right.
Druid. He knows, like I said, he's a Druid player. He knows exactly how awful this is.
Right. It's just funny because he's, everyone says usually you want Wild Growth in the early stages of the
Yeah.
game, and this is exactly what he's gotten.
He needs to draw scenarios to make up for this, and just innovate out the scenarios. That's like the only way to come back at this point.
Well, there's really nothing else to do here but to Wild Growth.
Yeah. Or he could double lore. Double lore would get him back in the game as well.
Double lore would actually be pretty nasty.
Yeah.
You can innervate it out one turn, and the next turn you can play it out normally.
Reynard already has some really important cards. So Lotheb's huge, gives you one turn free of combo to really set up your board to swing it back. And the Brawl, it's not that great against Druid. It actually, in this situation, it is because you can get the weapon on first before Brawl to get a full board clear. The Death Spite is the best card against Druid. Like I said, the Fiery doesn't really kill anything, but the Death Spite kills everything almost.
And, well, he's running low on cards, but he does finally have minions to play.
Yeah, but no follow-up. His hand is so weak. He needs... Okay, maybe he needs to get an Innervate combo with double combo, the double Savage Roar, and like maybe just one creature on the board. That's one way to win, but it's looking very unlikely.
Yeah. Well, he's essentially in top deck mode until he gets that Ancient of Lore.
Yeah. Reynard's going to go with the Lotheb. Supernova can't cast anything in his hand.
Yeah. At best, he can just play whatever minion that comes off the top.
Okay, that's a decent one. He's just got to go face with the Yeti here, too. He could choose to hero power the Lotheb once, though. But I would say he has to go face with the Yeti.
Yeah, I think paying it now is fine,
Ooh.
too. Oh, he removes the Lotheb.
I think he really needed that 4 damage.
He's going to make a... Well, I guess he wants to protect his Spectral Knight as best as he can, too.
Yeah. It dies to nothing right now.
Double Brawl.
Ooh, so Reynard, he probably won't have to show it this game.
No, but that's a really interesting deck choice here.
I wonder what he's expecting. It's not that great against Hunter, but it still is pretty good. And then Zoo, it's okay against Zoo. I think it's more just like the surprise factor.
Sure.
Oh, it's great against Handlock too. That's one of its strongest matchups.
If he's anticipating Handlock, then yeah. Well, the good news for Supernova is that he's getting everything that he needs, essentially.
this-
but if he puts this in charge mode, he just gets cleared anyways.
Yeah, and then the Spectral Knight's going to get finished off by the Cruel Taskmaster as well.
Right.
So
So
I still wouldn't mind charge mode, just push the 8 damage in, but looks like this is better as overall, so he's right.
yeah, of course, if Black Knight comes around, then he is going to be regretting everything about his life.
Yeah. Well, okay. He could still top deck the combo next turn, and that does 20, and he's going to take 4 from this Druid of the Claw. Actually, he's not, because he can finish off the Druid of the Claw. Okay.
Well, he's actually quite an awkward spot. You can't fully clear. He's got shield block in somewhere there.
Yeah. Reynard's pretty far ahead. He's like, I can afford to play around Innervate combo by shield blocking instead of armoring up. Usually, as a warrior against a druid, you want to shield block only when you can armor up as well to maximize the armor. But I think post-Nax, especially warrior, is way more mana efficient and can afford to give up the armor ups, just shield block and use the mana more efficiently here.
Okay, well, with that draw, it just means he has to play Cold Taskmaster anyways.
Reynard's still safe to Innervate combo now, which is a huge luxury. Usually he can't afford to be safe to Innervate combo.
Oh, that's a big draw for Supernova.
Really needed that. Wouldn't be surprised to see Innervate swipe here if he can get something better, keep the Druid of the Claw alive. Oh, this is huge.
Oh, man. Back-to-back good creatures. But at the same time, to be fair, Supernova's early hand was pretty weak, where he's missing turns where he can play minions.
Yeah, now it looks like Reynard is going to have a really hard time playing around the combo. He's probably going to choose to... Oh, he only has 7 mana.
I wonder.
I think Reynard's going to be forced to shield block.
Yeah, and he needs that to pick up a shield slam, right?
I think this is a pretty... This is an Innervate swipe. I wonder what he's thinking about. Innervate Yeti and trading in.
I think.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
no,
I think
I like this. I like
he's
this.
thinking about the
Skill
possibility, yeah, where you can pick up the Savage Lord, right?
Yeah, no, this is great. This is better than swipe. I was thinking. Now he can do the Force of Nature swipe next turn too. Good 10 mana, or just Karen swipe.
Brawl comes out. Worst case scenario is the Ancient of Lore, but best case scenario is the Brawl winning for the Cruel Taskmaster.
We were starting to see it swing around for Supernova, but that Brawl RNG was too much.
When Reynard starts to win his RNG battles, I don't know,
what is
man.
going on?
The world's not prepared. Reynard doesn't even know how to cope with that. Well, good thing for Supernova is that he doesn't look phased, and he seems still ready to take the challenge head on. You know, Karen is still a problematic card for Warrior to deal with efficiently.
A lot of Warriors have been running 2 Owls, I've seen.
2 Owls?
We see none from Reynard, or Spellbreaker.
Yeah.
I think most have been starting to favor Owl for more mana efficiency and fighting Hunter early.
Yeah, you know, turn 2 Owls sometimes can answer directly whatever they're playing. Like Mad Scientist. I think Karen is just stronger than Spectre Knight, right? Considering that he does have a weapon out immediately already.
Yeah, I think we're going to see Rag here from Reynard in response. If you want to be super defensive, shield block Belcher, but I think Rag is...
But Rag
Actually,
means
no,
you
no.
still die to combo.
Yeah. So shield blocks Belcher. And Belcher actually does contest the Karen pretty well.
Oh, wow. So he can kill off the Karen and play defensive.
So he goes down to 14, but he can play the Belcher.
Right. That's a great draw for Reynard. Well, I mean, I was kind of joking about how good luck is starting to come around, but I think it actually is turning around here. And this is an uncomfortable spot once again, because it's now getting to the stages where how does Druid deal with the Sludge Belcher? Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's still not a Black Knight, though.
Right.
Like, what the 2/4 on the board doesn't... It's going to die to that Death Spite. Or he could Death Spite Owl into the Spectral Knight, which is likely to get played. I guess Keeper, Swipe, Hero Power isn't out of the question.
Keeper, Swipe, Hero Power. Oh, yeah.
Full clear, you get a 2/4 on board. It's not that
That
exciting.
sounds reasonable.
He'll be at 13 HP, so it'll be
Threatens combo still.
So Reynard will be really tempted to armor up rather than play one of those 8 drops.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's
same
a stylist.
Yeah, wait, more style then. Always move Fire over Silence when you can for the...
Call down the moon. Well, that still threatens to potentially combo, but Reynard does have shield block.
Drop, but
It's fine.
But like I said, the Death Spike kills so much, it's almost as good. And look, now he's got options for next turn. He could even do an 8-drop and a removal and swing on something.
Well, unfortunately, not Spectral Knight.
Oh, there's the Shade. Sets up perfectly for the combo if it comes up.
Two cards that are great to synergize with Force of Nature and Savage Roar to end the game.
So Reynard's looking at 19 damage if he from the Shade combo, and he's at 17. So he can't even get out of range, but he does have the Belcher. Are we going to see a brawl?
I mean, the Druid is holding one card, and
Yeah.
you feel like one card is a combo piece.
So in this situation, okay, so Rag and Grom are both going to kill one thing each round, right? But the Rag will never die because the Grom has to use its HP, but the Rag has the potential to hit face. And I think in this situation, you don't need the Grom to live too long, so I think you just Grom.
Yeah, because then Rag can still end the game too as their finisher.
Yeah.
If he spends all of his removal, but
Okay,
he's
so he
gonna leave
favors
it
the
up to
Rag.
Ragnaros,
Because
his mortal enemy.
yeah.
Oh no!
Well,
I have a
it's
strong
expected.
feeling, Hype, that the
Oh,
next
no.
card might be Savage Roar.
Oh
No.
Wait, is that how much damage? Not enough. Okay.
No.
Actually, and this preserves the weapon. If you use the Grom, he would have to hit face already, but maybe this is a more surprise factor.
Sure.
It's still 1 damage off lethal though, so it doesn't really set up.
What to do?
Well, Supernova. Let's see. Can he just play like around Rag in the sense where he just? Or does he have to remove it here?
Just charge face and maybe bring the Shade out. Okay, maybe not bring the Shade out because he has to win.
He has to win with combo, right? That's
Yeah.
his out here.
What?
So
Unless
let's see
he
if
just spends Force of Nature to remove, but that still really feels really bad.
That is the advantage of Reynard playing. If he played the Grom, he would have had to hit face and then throw the Grom into the Spectral Knight. It would have been at 5 HP, and it would have been easier to move with the Force of Nature.
Time waits for no one.
Well, he's got to make a decision quick. Is he going to remove or is he going to attack and try to be aggressive?
I think he's charging face, but maybe he's deciding if he wants. Or Taunt is fine too. And now Taunt gives him more. It's more likely that he brings out the Shade with the Taunt.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, now. Do we see a brawl? Maybe no.
A brawl with Rag on your side. That would be interesting for sure. Execute.
Yeah, so he can remove. Let's see, is there a way to do it with Grom? If he hits the bear, executes. No.
And then attack phase.
Then he can kill the. No. Because the shield slams are useless if he doesn't arm up. Brawl is a huge risk because if the Spectral Knight lives, there's no response. But there's Belcher.
So if you brawl and then Belcher, do you die to combo anyways? If he... Yeah, you do. Because he'll still have 12 damage that bleeds through the taunts.
Let's see. I think he can do something with the Belcher execute. Yeah, this should work.
Okay.
And so he saves damage. He attacks him with the Shade. And yeah, now he's safe to combo, I believe.
And it keeps hitting face. I still think
Yeah.
there's a room
No,
if he can...
Supernova can only do 8 damage because he has to throw his face and
Oh,
that
no,
thing
but you
in.
can use... You can still use it. I think this is it, right?
wait. Okay, he
'Cause-
has to attack the Belcher with the Spectral Knight and then the Ooze with his face, and then he
there's
has
12 damage.
Okay.
So that's actually enough.
Yeah.
The Savage Roar was
Oop.
the actual card he needed.
So Supernova had the worst opening with the Swipe, the Savage, or the Wrath, but he still wins because, like I said, Druid's 75% of his points. Really hard for Druid to lose.
Oh, man. That is pretty rough considering that this Warrior game would have been a really big advantage, but looks like he just persisted long enough to end this game. And we have ourselves a tied series.
Yeah, that rag to the face really hurt.
Oh, man. Well, that was amusing.
Yeah. Well, depending on who you're cheering for.
Oh, come on. That was fun.
I want to see Reynard win.
Well, you know, just because it's fun to see like the one outer that Druid had
Yeah.
the entire game, even when it had the worst start that it could have asked for. But you know, in the end, I think Supernova also didn't really make any errors.
Yeah, he played well.
So that's gonna tie it up, and we go to Warlock versus Warlock, and it seems like Supernova favors the slower control style. So it wouldn't surprise me to see handlock from him. And you're saying that Reynard was gonna bring handlock today, right?
Yes. So I think Reynard will be happy to see either Zoo or Handlock. I wonder if he'll mulligan different. Like we saw Hosty keep the Molten Giant, expecting his opponent to be Zoo.
Right.
Turned out to be Handlock as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see if Reynard can. We might see the mulligan mind games where they both just refuse to mulligan until the timer's up.
Sure.
Wouldn't be surprised to see that. I don't know if it. Yeah, I think Reynard has some cards that help in the mirror too, like
Okay.
Big Game Hunter, or Black Knight.
Well, it is going to be handlock mirrors,
Okay, so let's see.
and he's playing Alex Straza. That's interesting.
Looks like Supernova's definitely, like you can see his eyes, he's looking up at the top for the mulligans. Yeah, I think they're going to refuse to mulligan. So all Reynard's cards are bad against both Handlock and Zoo, so he's tossing them all for sure. Supernova might be tempted to keep that Molten Giant,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think he's keeping the other two no matter what. Although Owl, I guess, sounds an Undertaker, but I think he's tossing it. He's just waiting to see the mulligan. And Reynard's already set, he's just going to wait for the timer. Wouldn't be surprised. Oh, he actually went early.
All
And
right.
then you see Supernova responds. He sees everything mulliganed, so he doesn't want the Molten Giant anymore. He's expecting Handlock.
Yeah. So that information ends up helping.
Gets the Mountain.
Okay, Mountain Giant's great to start off with, and well, I don't really see that great of an opening hand for Reynard. I mean, he's got some things to play with the coin, which is nice, because oftentimes as a second player, you need to do something on turn 3. I think the logic is that you can coin Ancient Watcher and still be tapping every turn to hit your Giant, right?
So many possibilities.
I think that's something Kalento does quite often. On the off chance that he gets the Iron Beak Owl, so he can silence and be slightly aggressive.
Yeah. So they both know they're Handlock.
Alright, well, for now, Supernova's plan is just to wait, but he's got double Mountain Giant. Wow. And our switchers can't even keep up fast enough without life tapping.
Oh, yeah. I'm already lost who's who. It's Supernova's turn right now.
Oh, is it? No, I'm pretty sure. I thought it was
Oh,
Reynard.
my God. Yeah, Reynard had the coin, I thought.
Yeah. Well, I guess Supernova's on the coin then, in which case Reynard has a great starting hand.
And now I am. Oh my gosh.
All right. Well,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Supernova is the one we're on right here.
Yeah. Okay, so. Yeah, during the mulligans we were mixed up already. Okay, so Supernova right now.
Well, he doesn't have
So
a very appetizing
possibilities.
hand right at the moment.
It's a Black Knight, so there's already something interesting.
He can remove the Giant with Soulfire,
Yeah.
but is that...
Seems decent.
Yeah.
Here's the Molten, maybe he wants to get it.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Allowing
Well, he can
yourself
still
to
tap
get
first, it
tapped.
looks like. He could still afford to Owl Soulfire. So maybe he was deciding if he wanted to Soulfire those cards, or maybe he wanted to increase his odds. Okay, saving the saving the Owl. Maybe forcing it in.
Sure.
On 5 mana. Is there any way to get through that without attacking in?
Oh, he is playing BGH.
Okay, so yeah, this is definitely Reynard's side with the BGH.
Wow. He's got 2 Mountain Giants to start things off, too. Oh, boy. Well, he can remove 1 Giant, like we said, through Soulfire. Can he deal with the second one at all? Doesn't look
No.
like this turn.
I think he's not too worried with the Shadow Flame in hand, but if Reynard were to get a Lothab, that'd be extremely punishing. Before the Shadow Flame could get off.
Yeah, that's right. Is there a certain amount of health that you just don't want to put your opponent below? Like is it 16? Or
15 is usually the magic number because it's
15.
like it's an odd number, and then they can't do weird things with Tap and Molten Giant and Argus or Sun Fury because those
Sure.
are all even.
Makes sense.
Reynard had like huge burst potential if he got like if he snuck the Ancient Watchers both on the board and had the double Owl, but it looks like that's not happening. He's forced to Owl Mortal Coil.
So is attacking the face here too much damage this early? Because he does have 6 mana, he'd be able to play a giant, or is that okay?
Looks like he's going for it.
Wow.
I like aggression a little bit more because Lotheb changes handlock so much. Just Lotheb on a handlock board, so punishing.
Well,
Plus Reynard has the big game hunter to get through any taunts.
that's true.
So he'd be happy to see him Mountain Giant. Molten Giant, just one.
He's got the removal onto the giant. He's got his own giant on the next couple of turns as well. But Reynard's, he's got everything lined up pretty well here. Like he's got his removal for the Drakes, perfect with the Mortal Coil and the Silence, and now he's got his own Drake.
Yeah, looks like that Black Knight won't be a problem too if he gets that second Ancient Watcher down. He's likely to play or Silence, okay.
Yeah.
Pushing for damage, that's fine. Well, now he might be punished by the Black Knight. Or he just might not even play taunts. He doesn't need to.
Right, well, it's very clear that he's the aggressor at the moment on the board. And his opponent does have an Ironbeak Owl onto the Drake as well. And then that's a clear, right? With can even okay. So if he Ironbeaks and Hellfires can even play Molten Giant. Or is that too much? Is that too much damage you're taking?
Yeah, you'd be at 12.
Oh, you can't though. You only have 1 mana remaining. Ah, that's pretty unfortunate. So maybe just the Ironbeak and then Molten Giant? Or Lotheb, whichever you feel more comfortable with.
Yeah. I think Lotheb's safer, but what does it set up for next turn? I guess Shadow Flame.
Really?
Well, you can Shadow Flame and then Soulfire off to finish off any giant that might get played. We're going with the Hellfire. Soulfire face with Molten Giant? No.
Soulfire your own face.
Nope.
And discard your own Molten Giant. Alright, well, it's okay. Sludge Belcher is pretty decent sized threat here.
Looks like we're going to see Black Knight, Molten Giant. Or Black Knight tap, double Molten Giant. Be the slightly better play.
Do you want to go down to 10 health? Can you die from that? If he has 2 Hellfires and Soulfire, right? You would die.
Yeah.
So I think to play around the possibility your opponent might killing you from the hand.
Always going for the second Molten Giant.
Yeah. Second Molten Giant, though, is pretty appetizing.
Almost.
Hold on. He's got Hellfire and Soulfire, right? That's 8 damage. And then a Defender of Argus is 9. So he's 1 damage off lethal right now?
Okay.
Or does he? Oh, wait, no, he didn't kill it off, so he
Argus,
does have
yeah.
lethal. I thought he was going to kill off the thing with Black Knight. Instead, he plays the Twilight Drake and the Molten Giant, which means Reynard has the game, and that's going to give him a 2-1 lead.
Didn't even have to show the big game hunter.
Yeah,
Didn't have to
there
use
you
it.
go. That was actually a really clever observation that you just pointed out, Hype, that he life taps so that way he decreases the chance he discards Big Game Hunter so that he doesn't reveal it to his opponent. Ah, that's really
Pretty
clever. All right, well, that's going to do it for Game 3. A little shocked that he didn't try to deal with it at 10 HP. Your opponent just needed Hellfire and Soulfire to kill you, so.
Yeah. You really wanted like those Shadow Flame value. You had 2 Shadow Flames.
Mhm.
You just wanted to force it.
Sure, sure. So a little bit of greed cost Supernova, but we're going into Game 4, and this is where the format starts to kick in again, because now it's blind pick. You can pick whatever you want.
So Reynard's handlock. He has the big game hunter, so he's fine playing that against handlock. He's fine with the mirror. He's fine against Priest. Undertaker Priest really struggles with handlock unless it gets like the Akonite zombie combo. And then what was the third deck from Super? The Druid. Druid's a little rough. We didn't see a big game hunter in Supernova's Druid, did we,
Nope.
though? But it's still favored against Handlock.
Okay.
It has the Wild Growth. It's the Wild Growth Yeti Druid as opposed to the Creepers, although maybe he has Creepers as well. Creepers are really strong against Handlock. You like double Savage Roar on turn 6 with the little spiders. They're done. But I think Reynard's fine with playing Handlock into Druid.
Okay. And then for Supernova, if you anticipate that, his best chances is what? To go for Druid, because you can beat Warrior.
Well, Reynard just can't pick Warrior, I don't think. So what's his other deck? Hunter?
Hunter.
So, yeah, Supernova can't play Druid. Supernova has to play Priest, he chooses. Oh, and Reynard guesses right. Or
Guesses right.
Well, he was going to pick Warlock, so Supernova assumed that Reynard wouldn't make the obvious pick. Or maybe it was Supernova's only choice. Or maybe he is confident in this matchup. He's got this with the Zombie Chows.
Yeah, he's got Silence. I mean, he's playing Pyromancer, so that seems to be the control Priest. We only got to see one game of this, so...
Yeah, so it's got the Zombie Chows and the Pyromancer, so it's like a mix.
All right, well, he's got the Coin Life tap, and he's got Mountain Giant.
Yeah, no hesitate. In the other game, he thought about it in the Handlock Mirror. In this one, it's just instant Coin Life tap. Which is great versus Priest.
Yeah. Priest can't really punish that. They're not going to swarm you down. And the big thing is Priest struggles to get those extra bits of damage. So the closer they get you to 0, the harder it is for them to win, actually, a lot of the cases.
Ysera's, might sneak in before Siphon the Soul gets into Reynard's hand.
Oh, Molten Giant as well. I mean, Priest often tries to sometimes just kill you out of the game, but not really with the hand that Supernova has right now.
Priest can sometimes bum rush with the Undertaker. We don't even know if he has an Undertaker, though. We just saw the Zombie Chow, we assumed.
Yeah, I think it's just Control Priest with early game skew against Hunter with Zombie Chow.
Actually, makes a lot of sense in this format. We were expecting a lot of Zoo and Hunter, so why not put Zombie Chow in? It's good versus both, even without the Undertaker.
So he has Ysera and he has Mind Control.
Yeah.
So it's
we saw that the other game, remember?
So he's got some really good beginning and ends. So he might have made some cuts in the middle somewhere. Maybe one Cabal Shadow Priest.
Yeah.
Maybe one Holy Fire. Oh, that is a good draw for Reynard, but Supernova has the perfect response.
Yeah, usually this is the best card against Priest, but sounds power. Sounds power is perfect. Now, does he leave the guy at 1? No.
Yeah, heal it back up.
It's just as good as Belcher here anyways. Except against Owl. He could kill the Cultist for free. But he might even just kill the Pyromancer.
Yeah, he has the Iron Beak to silence the Ancient Watcher. Hovering over Lotheb, though, to seize back the board.
Yeah, so if the Cultist trades in, the Pyromancer goes up to 3/5, so it dies anyways. Although now he can play another creature to force the Cultist to have a chance. Or yeah, he can trade the Pyromancer in first, force the Cultist to buff the Belcher.
Yeah, he wants to, right? To deny his opponent from being able to get a really good Shadow Flame off.
Yeah.
Because if he plays a Sludge Belcher and just attacks really aggressively, he sets himself up to get completely swept, and a Molten Giant can come out. So
he does have 1 death. And he'll have the Pyromancer on the table, most likely. We have no clear from Reynard in Reynard's hand.
what does Alex Straza bring for Reynard, by the way, as opposed... Does he not run Jiraxis, or...?
Well, it's definitely good. I mean, Jiraxis is great against Priest, too, but I mean, at that point, he's going to be out of Shadow or Death, so Alex is going to be great. What Alex does great is, on, like... Well, he's at Lotheb's already down, but say he gets a board with, like, 15 damage, and the Priest is at 30 HP. It's Alex, hit face. Win.
Sure.
Okay, so he's going face.
Whoa! So aggressive.
Okay. It's a play to win.
It's a play to win, but is that the right play here?
I think you have to take risks as Priest. You have to hope things go your way against Handlock at least.
Sure, it's a lot of the logic of if you're in a bad matchup, a lot of times playing aggressive is the only way you can sneak out a win sometimes.
Yeah.
Whether it's Handlock versus Hunter or Shaman versus Priest, etc. I like it. Well, it turns out that's actually the easiest way to make Reynard uncomfortable because he doesn't have that AoE.
Definitely. We're going to see a lot of taunts here. Probably not going to taunt the Molten. Although maybe he might. Double taunt this. This works.
Sure, but does that mean is there a way for him to kill him this turn? I guess not. There's always some weird stuff on the table with Pyromancer.
Yeah. This is a Moz puzzle time with Pyromancer.
Let's see. So with Pyromancer, you can do 3 sweeps.
Probably going to do something involving the Power Shield and then the Cleric Circle, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, you're right. You can draw so many cards.
Maybe too much with the Molten.
Maybe, yeah, maybe a little bit too much.
Okay, there's the circle. Now he's less inclined to use the circle for healing.
Whoa. I was trying to think if there's a way for him to kill, but...
Yeah, I don't know. If the... I think since the Pyromancer was on the table before the Cultist, it'll die before the Cultist and it won't get buffed. I think the Slime might get buffed, though, if he...
The Slime actually should attack before he uses the spell, otherwise he's going to die.
Well, it looks like he's planning on circling.
Oh, okay.
But actually, you're right. Maybe he can throw the Slime in. You know, he could have cleared another way.
So he tosses his Northshire and then heals it manually, right?
Okay.
Is someone injured?
Save that circle of healing for a sweep. Kill off one of the ancient. Oh, kill off both of them.
Force the HP on the Cleric instead of the...
Sure, wow. Well, that works for me. Strong enough turn. And it's encroaching scary territory in terms of health as well.
I mean, he's still safe to, like... Okay. Akanai Circle, Hero Power, with double Zombie Chat would kill him. That's about it, though.
Yeah, I don't know if you're playing around that 4-card combination.
Yeah, he's missing 2.
See, well, he can take stuff with Cabal Shadow Priest. I don't know if if drawing something here might be beneficial, but I do know Shadow Madness is one of the best ways to deal with Sludge Belcher, generally speaking.
Yeah, and he can heal the Cleric and Kabbalah too.
Is it clear time?
Looks like it. Full clear leaves the 3-1 on the board.
Right away.
Reynard does not have the Siphon Soul, so the Ysera might sets up for the Ysera.
Oh, you're right. Ysera might actually could be a big MVP here.
So Supernova's really looking for Dream, Awakens, and I think that's it. You don't really want the minions or the Nightmare in this scenario.
Well, he gets the Farseer. I think he really wanted to play the Mountain Giant, but he's at critical health, and if his opponent has Holy Fire, that's the end of the game, right?
Yeah. I don't think he's running. Well, maybe.
Nope. Instead, it's the Cabal Shadow Priest #2.
So Reynard has the option to Alex himself next turn. He's probably going to Owl if the Ysera comes down. I wonder if Supernova's doing some math on the Thought Steal.
That could be a possibility.
He's 6 damage off, so there's not... He'd have to get 2 spells, like Hellfire, Soulfire.
Yeah, specifically those 2.
Earth and Ring, Soulfire. Because
Oh,
he's got
I
the
like
Akanai
it.
on board.
I like it hyped. That's fancy.
Oh yeah, here we go. Earth and Ring, Soulfire.
I must consider.
He just needs a little bit more damage.
Yeah, so now he wanted the Ysera, but he's like, it's for sure can't Siphon, which he actually doesn't have.
Oh, well, you know what?
Okay, now maybe he's like, okay, maybe he doesn't have Siphon. Okay, he can do 3 damage himself.
Well, it's funny, he hurts himself in the process, but...
Might see Alex self from Reynard.
Oh, but he gets Siphon Soul, and if he uses that, he won't have an answer directly to Ysera. He just has to silence
He got
it.
the Owl.
Well, yeah, but it's still a 4/12 body
Yeah.
that's threatening to kill you.
He saw that There's no Shadow or Death for that Mountain Giant. There's a Siphon instead, so maybe Alex feels more safe.
Yeah, Alex does actually feel pretty safe.
Maybe it's weak to Mind Control. That was turn 9. Now turn 10, it can get Mind Controlled.
Oh.
He has the Siphon, so maybe he will still do it.
If he siphons, he's gonna tap first, then. Right?
Ooh.
Oh.
There's the Earthen.
Okay. Well, he's gonna save the Siphon Soul for a bigger target. I mean, he realizes that in Priest decks there are multiple ways for you to have threats, which Siphon Soul, like Sylvanas or even Ysera. So saving it usually is a really good idea.
I like putting multiple creatures on the board. He has the 2 Arguses, which he wants targets for, and more importantly, if he does Alex, he wants creatures on the board to clear whatever does come up, so he doesn't fall too far behind.
Ah, well, this is where Mortal Coil is actually surprisingly useful.
Circle, that's going to be useful. Maybe not right now.
No, Priest is pressing it there. Alright, and finally the first Shadow Flame, which is a pretty important card.
Yeah, not quite enough. Is he forced to Siphon here? Yeah, I'm surprised Supernova actually doing a huge amount of pressure this game. He can, like, Owl double Defender, kill that Sludge Belcher, like, get the 5/5 Earthen.
Right. But then,
And now he still has the Siphon free Sarah.
he actually should kill off the
Yeah.
Alkanai Soul Priest, though, right?
And what is
Because he has a circle
Oh, he
of
was
healing.
thinking about Shadow Flame. It looks like.
Oh, Shadow Flame is also viable.
Is he scared to double Defender for Alkanai Circle? Even if he kills the Alkanai?
So he's going to use Shadow Flame to clear.
For just like, yeah.
Well, we know it's the right move, and again, this goes back.
Ooh, there's the Holy Fire.
And Holy Fire came just a couple turns too late.
Supernova really putting himself in a position to win the game. It looks like he just missed his window, though.
Well, maybe Ysera can do something fun.
Let me change your mind.
Well, taking this, he can hopefully bait out removal as well. He just used a Shadow Flame, right? So
Stand ready.
it'll be harder for him to get rid of this. Well, Hellfire seems pretty appetizing. I mean, that's pretty much an AoE clear here. But Siphon Soul does mean that Ysera is empowered, and that's going to be a problematic card unless Reynard gets Siphon Soul number 2.
Yeah, Supernova's still favored. I thought he just lost his window, but looks like he's back in it.
Yeah. Baiting out the removal was excellent there. And he gets an Emerald Drake. That's another card that can fight and potentially threaten.
Might see a Holy Fire on that. Emerald Drake, okay, I said it was weak before, but actually now it's starting to be good because Reynard's so long cards. He has the Big Game Hunter, but still.
Yeah, and the important thing is that he's keeping Ysera alive, so Ysera has an opportunity to draw into the cards.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to go for some circle draws.
No, we'll use both Alkanais, right? So Zombie Chow is pretty reliable here.
I'm surprised he didn't, okay.
He wanted,
Yeah, Death or something.
yeah, Shadow Word Death.
Ooh, he's really weak to Shadow Flame, though. Did Reynard already use 2?
He used 1.
Wow, super weak to Shadow Flame.
Yeah, this could backfire, but Reynard doesn't have it. And until then, it's still looking like Supernova might have it, but wow, what a big draw from Reynard to pick up Shadow Flame.
Wow. Supernova took a huge risk, not just Holy Firing the Alex.
Oh, man. That's devastating here. Although, is Reynard out of the woods yet?
Sylvanas still super scary. Laughing Sister not quite as good. He has a lot of creatures. Both Shadow Forms are down, so he's going to have trouble fighting.
There's not many cards left remaining for both players. Both under 10 here.
There's the
Right
death
on
that-
time.
Oh, Supernova.
Oh, talk
Every
about
card is just too late.
misconnections.
We say too late, but he's still in it.
Oh, too late to end the game, so
Yeah.
to speak. But Priest is still hanging in there, and now with Alex Straza, it'd be so surprised to see Alex Straza and Jiraxis, right?
Yeah.
So without Jiraxis, Reynard's running a little short on threats to end the game here.
Yeah. He could taunt up a Molten Giant if he were to draw one.
He still has Twilight Drake in his deck.
Okay, there's one Molten Giant. And Taft gets the second one. He goes down to 7 with the Holy Fire. There's no target in Supernova's deck anyways, outside of this Molten Giant getting mind controlled. And which he does run, so we could see mind control here.
But
We could see the Sylvanas Shadowward Death.
But I think that should do it, right? Because he has the Holy Fire to push through, and Supernova is going to tie up the series and send it into Game 5, winning the Priest versus Handlock. Okay.
Well,
Ultimate BM here. Supernova. I think
it is still.
yeah, he
no
miscounted.
chance.
But Reynard's at 1 life here. He can't actually win.
What can you draw off that Mortal Coil? Loath
Well,
Step? No.
you're assuming that he keeps Mortal Coil. Well, it's not a little bit of a delayed moment, but Supernova sends it to Game 5. And he might be the one surprising Reynard here and being able to take it in a 5-game series.
Okay, so 2-2.
Has anything changed at all going into? Because again, this is going into Game 5 where both players can pick any deck once more.
So now there's some mind games. So Reynard, he's expecting Reynard to go Handlock again, I think. I think he just go Handlock again. You assume you're not going to lose to Priest. And then, so Supernova will probably go with Druid, but Reynard would still want to be Handlock anyway. So it's probably going to be Handlock versus Druid.
Sure.
I'd be pretty confident in Druid versus... I'd rather be Druid versus Handlock than Priest.
Really?
But maybe... he's
Oh,
by the luck,
okay,
yep.
then Priest. I thought you meant in the matchup overall.
Yeah.
I think, generally speaking, you'd rather be Handlock. Just
yeah,
to
yeah,
be able
yeah.
to put out the pressure.
Yeah, for sure.
Overall, though, it seems like the series has been really fun. Pretty tight overall.
Yeah.
Some tense moments here and there, but are coming down to Game 5. And other than the little floop in the very end of the game, I think the Priest was a really fun. It was well played.
Well
and it was a fun
played for
game.
sure. That push in for damage at the end or at the start, took him down to 11. Really paid off.
All right, so
It's the same
going.
matchup.
It's the same matchup. He's confident,
Wow.
and he's got a great start. In fact, I think he's got almost the ideal start here.
Supernova actually likes his Priest deck better than his Druid deck against Handlock.
I'm happy with how this looks. If I'm Supernova, Injured Blade Master or Circle of Things is one of the best ways you can fight against early threats, short of the perfect lineup of removal.
Okay, so Reynard's still thinking, keeping the Molten Giant, probably because what happened last game, he got pushed and he didn't have the Molten Giant to punish. It seems like he can afford to keep it too against a Priest.
Sure. Oh, he's got 2 Molten Giants this time around.
Okay. Supernova has a slower hand this time though. He's going to control the board with the Blade Master, and then might hopefully get a taunted Molten Giant at the end of the game.
Well, wow. This game can get off to some
Wow.
big fireworks here because we see the opportunity for big combos here in a draw off of the circle healing. But Reynard also has a lot of giants. The problem is, what if there's no taunts to prevent the giants from being able to be any kind of linebacker to stop defense?
Those cards, Reynard's hand is so high quality though. Like I said, remember that if the Alex Straza comes down with two giants on the board.
Oh. He's got a taunt giver.
Okay.
This game might be so quick.
Yeah.
It could be as simple as Supernova provoking the Beehive a little bit too much,
Yeah.
and then
Ooh, Supernova's hand. Sylvanas, Ysera, Cabal, Mind Control. It doesn't go with the Cleric Circle that he started with.
no, it's the 4 most expensive cards in this deck.
Yeah. So he's got the early end, the late, and no middle.
At least he can draw closer to Shadow Word Death. No, he doesn't get it.
Right away.
And you're just pushing. Keep on pushing. That's all you can do.
Yeah, we're gonna see the double Molten. So Supernova would like, he needs like Akanai double circle, but he already used one circle, so Reynard doesn't have to worry about anything with the throwing the giants down.
Well,
Just Pyromancer clears, which are very difficult, especially without the coin.
yeah, no, that is true. This Farseer introduces an interesting thing too, because if you play the giant, this Injured Blade Master actually kills a giant.
Yeah, and are you willing to use an owl on the cleric? Probably.
I'm willing to. I think he's also tempted to get close, lower on health for.
Yeah, he's like, go ahead, heal my guy. He does have the Injured Blade Master though.
Right.
Oh.
All right. Well.
He got the draw. I forgot about that part.
Yeah, but I think it's okay because he just wants his opponent to exhaust Shadow Word Deaths instead of giving it
too
up.
many 8/8s. You can't have that many Shadow Word Deaths. And yeah, no Akanai double circle.
Well, this game started off with a bang. Supernova picks up Thought Steal, which I don't know if he has the time to get away playing with it. Sometimes you can get really good cards off it, but a lot of the cards that he wants to steal are already in the hand of Reynard.
Yeah. He bought so much time that for the pressure last game that he had plenty of time to Thought Steal and like heal with Cleric, but this time he just doesn't have it. He had those dead early turns because he has all these expensive cards, and now he's heading into his mid game where he actually wants to spend his mana, so he can't afford to waste the mana.
Yeah,
Or maybe he would want a Hellfire or something.
Well, this is a tough spot for Supernova. There's still no sign of any easy giant removal, and there's more coming too. This cleric can't even benefit off of draws anymore. His hand's been really heavy. Or even pushing in for damage, he might get a 6/6 giant, or sorry, a turn 6 giant.
Yeah, if you're Supernova, you're like, well, to win this game, I need to take. I need like 40. I need to spend like 45 mana, so I need all the time in the world.
All right, Soulfire pickup allows him a little bit of burst as well as removal options. The giant's the cheapest that I'll ever get, by the way, with the mountain giant.
You know.
So many
Belcher's still super annoying. Argus Mortal Coil isn't bad.
Argus Mortal Coil.
Leaves your Earth in at 4/1.
It does leave you with some awkward mana costs, though.
And Reynard preferring the mana efficient play.
So you're just gonna go
maybe
so
Soulfire.
ham.
Not out of the question.
But a lot of these cards are pretty decent. To discard one of them is rather painful.
I think as long as he doesn't discard the mountain or the molten, he's fine. And even in that case, he has another one. Siphon is worthless because he's never gonna be able to. Supernova's never going to be able to play the Acer this game, so he's totally fine losing that.
Well, he's dealt with it, and now it's down to Supernova to, as Reynard gets a friendly reminder from his hero that he needs to wait a turn. Supernova needed like double a circle to clear this,
Yeah,
but he
Supernova's-
has nothing.
Yeah, he's dead unless he needs to draw off the Power Word Shield.
Or Thought Steal? No, Thought Steal, he only has 3 mana to play with.
Yeah, couldn't even get the Hellfire. Thought Steal into double Soulfire, but he can't even do that because he already lost his one Soulfire's down.
There's 3 damage from the hand of Reynard, so he just needs his 2 giants and the Farseer to stick, and he wins. Unless Priest heals up. So even a Cabal Shadow Priest to take some damage off the board doesn't save Supernova. He needs to draw something to help him win the game here, or start to stall the game, so that way he can find a win somewhere else.
Okay, he can Thought Steal, Soulfire, Mortal Coil. Mortal Coil the Owl, Soulfire the and then heal.
I don't.
And then he
like
lives
it.
one more turn.
Or he can Power Word Shield into a Sludge Belcher again to stall for time.
Yeah, powered shield on like the owl or something, or just the 8-10, the 8-8 already.
The 8-8's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
If you powered shield, you might also get Shadow Word Death.
Yeah.
I think I like that option a little bit better, but he gets Farseer instead? Does that matter? His opponent will have 21 damage. No, he's got 24 damage with Hellfire, and oh, he's got 25 health though. Excuse me. Oh, he's
Yeah, he's got enough. Oh no, he doesn't have enough mana.
Well, that's amusing. So he's 1 damage off lethal at the moment, but this is still a good position to be for the handlock player for sure.
Yeah. And now we'll see if Reynard plays around that Thoughtstone Black Knight.
So many.
Actually, I don't think it's possible unless he doesn't use his mana.
The only, yeah, as long as he just plays like a naked Molten Giant, just start attacking.
But actually, if Supernova expends 6 mana to Black Knight, he's probably dead. Anyways.
That's true. You have 1 mana left to make a play.
Yeah. And you can only kill 1 giant, and just 2. Reynard's just thinking like, how do I lose? He's like thinking of like the obscure Pyromancer combo Supernova can have.
Or maybe double Alkanized Circle. Or
No, he saw the circle burn, so he's.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
He's like, how do I lose? This is what I do. Like when you're already winning. Like how do I lose?
Oh man. Even when Reynard's winning, he's going to rope. Just has to close out this last inch.
You know, he doesn't have to play on Black Knight.
No.
He realizes that now.
And with 7 mana, Supernova needs to win here. But I don't really foresee a way. And this is what we've expected from Handlock versus Priest earlier.
Yeah.
Which is, you know,
That's how it usually goes.
a way to emphasize why even the format just gives an opportunity for a deck to be played again, so we can show what it actually is made to do.
Yeah. Maybe Supernova being a little punished not bringing Hunter. He was probably expecting a lot of Zoo. That's why he has this Priest, and now his lineup is really weak to Handlock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see a way out here, Hyped.
No.
I crossed all my T's and dotted my I's, and I don't really see a way for him to pull out.
I think he's waiting for Reynard to disconnect.
No.
With the forfeit.
Hopefully. You only have a minute and a half, though, before you can run over to Burbank to my house. And I already implemented anti-DDoS measures, so there you go, Supernova.
Excellent.
Reynard's staying at my place for a few days while he moves. That's also my chair he's sitting in, by the way. I built that thing with my own hands from IKEA.
Wow. You should get maybe 10% for this round.
Maybe. But what's 10% of 0?
Well, you get 8 points. 8 ESL points.
Oh, I guess I get 8 ESL points. I'm on the board. We're on the board, boys. And this series is over. Supernova gave it his all, but looks like he's going to have to try again next week. But you know, what a cool story to see this guy come from nowhere all the way through the qualifiers and come 1 game short of advancing to the top 4. As it looks like Reynard is going to be the one taking the series.
Really cool to see him win that Priest vs. Handlock and then pick it again.
Lol.
Oh, what's happening here? What's happening?
He's silencing his own owls. He's BGHing his own giants. Reynard doesn't know what to do when he wins.
Yeah, look, he has no joy in this one. He's like, oh, this is what people do, I think, the VM. I'll try it.
What's it like to win? I don't know. All right, so we have ourselves our 3rd semifinalist joining RDU and Ping Ping Ho, which means our last series will be Chalky versus GCT Tirth.
Yes.
From India. Really cool series overall. That was probably our closest of the day and most intense. A few really fun moments where there was like really big draws, also some big swing turns and even creative plays. Overall, I kind of like what the format's developed so far. What do you think?
Yeah, I like it too. It's it puts a strong emphasis on making your deck more good against the field, so you can't like. There's less of that last hero standing. Like, one guy wins, the other guy counters, the other guy counters, and nobody likes that, right?
No, like Druid with double BGH Black Knight because you
that.
anticipate handlock or something. So it keeps decks a little bit more honest, I guess, against the ladder pool. But overall, what I really like the most is that I know Reynard tends to discuss with his stream about how much he likes playing Handlock and how it's the only deck that maybe he knows how to play really well. It gives an opportunity for people to show off their proficiency multiple times over rather than just get unlucky one game in a matchup that they think that they can win.
Yeah,
So.
I like it a lot.
Yeah. All right. So that's going to wrap up quarterfinal number 3. We're about halfway done through the day, guys. We still got to wrap up the round of 8 and then go all the way to finals to see who is going to get an invite to next week's tournament. Keep in mind that Sunday is also an opportunity for you to register for the Challenger Cup. So if you see Supernova and you're inspired, go ahead and sign up for tomorrow's cup that starts at 1500 PST. Also, we want to give a shout out to Newegg for sponsoring the tournament. Make sure to check out all of your stuff if you want great deals on any kind of supply for electronics and gears and whatnot. Check out newegg.com. Do that while we take a break and come back for our last quarterfinals here at the ESL Legendary Series.